Warning: this video and channel may not be suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised. With that being said, hope you enjoy. You have been warned. Well, that was interesting. I'm still processing it through my head. What exactly did I watch last night for 5 hours? What did I subject my eyes to for 4.5, almost 5 hours last night? Look, I have been on this planet for 26 years, going on 27 in October. I've seen my fair share of bad Super Bowls in my life. But that was one of the worst performances I have ever seen by a team ever in my life in the Super Bowl. And I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs last night in Super Bowl 55 against the Buccaneers. I was expecting at least a touchdown. At least a touchdown. I was going into this game saying, okay, we got two very damn good offenses here. You got, on one side, the young kid, the guy who just came into the league a few years ago, won Rookie of the Year, then the next year won the MVP and won the Super Bowl. And here he is, back-to-back Super Bowls, back-to-back AFC championships, playing in his second straight Super Bowl, back-to-back Super Bowls, against the old guard. The man that's widely considered to be the greatest of all time. A man that's been around for pretty much 20 years at this point. A six-time Super Bowl champion, Tom Brady. I was expecting, in my prediction video, like I said, for this game to be one of the highest scoring Super Bowls of all time. I was expecting it to at least be over double digits. At least over 20, 25, 30 points. One of the highest scoring Super Bowls ever. I wasn't expecting what the hell I watched last night. And oh yeah, there was a team that did get over double digits. Credit where credit's due. But, man, dude, I have not seen a performance that bad by a team since the Denver Broncos against the Seattle Seahawks. And say what you will about that Seattle Seahawks defense back in the Super Bowl back in 2014, but at least, Peyton Manning got a touchdown. At least the Denver Broncos got a touchdown in that game against the Seahawks. At least they got a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, you mean to tell me all of this legendary year that Patrick Mahomes had, this great offensive line that he has, these great wide receiver cores that he has, you mean to tell me he gets all of that, has one of the best seasons in the history of the NFL, just to get 3 field goals against a 43-year-old Tom Brady? Are you fucking kidding me? And this is the guy that people are saying is the new face of the NFL. This is the guy that people are saying is the future of the NFL, the future franchise guy of the NFL, the future face of the NFL, that the Kansas City Chiefs are the next dynasty in the making, they're the next New England Patriots of the NFL. And you couldn't even score a touchdown? You couldn't even score a touchdown against a 43-year-old man. At least if you would have scored a touchdown, at least I could give you a little bit of credit. field goals. 3 field goals. 9 points. 9 points to 31. 31. 31 to 9. You got your ass kicked by a 43-year-old man, 31 to 9. I don't ever again want to hear Patrick Mahomes being called the new face of the NFL. I don't want to hear the Kansas City Chiefs ever being the next dynasty in the making ever again. If you can't score a touchdown in the Super Bowl against a 43-year-old Tom Brady, and I know people are going to say, oh, well, Patrick Mahomes beat Brady in Week 12. Patrick Mahomes beat Brady in Week 12. He actually scored a touchdown against him in Week 12. He scored a touchdown against him in the AFC Championship game a few years ago. And does that matter at this point? Does that really fucking matter at this point? You're on the grandest scale of all. The grandest stage of them all. You're up against, in a lot of people's opinion, the greatest quarterback of all time. I get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense was pretty damn good. But did you have to go out there and make them look like the Seattle Seahawks defense from the 2014 Super Bowl against the Broncos? You made those guys look like they were the Seattle Seahawks defense from many years back. Unfreaking believable. Unfreaking believable. And to top it all off, I made a bet with my friend Shy, which I really shouldn't have freaking done that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to win, man. But deep down in the pit of my stomach, I just knew. I knew deep down in the pit of my stomach, I knew that they weren't going to be able to pull it off. But at least if they lost, at least you would go out with a fighting effort. At least you would go out fighting like, fighting like you wanted to win the game. Fighting like you mean it. Proving to everybody that even though you lost, you gave it your best effort. And you go out there and you put on that. You do that. You go out there on the grandest stage of all, the number one most watched sporting event in the entire world. Don't give me the World Cup and the Olympics and stuff like that. The Super Bowl is the most watched event in the history of sports. Bite me. You go out there on the grandest stage of all in front of over 100 million people watching around the world, and you only score 9 points. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. The last team to ever score a touchdown against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl was Nick Foles when he was on the Eagles. And that was like, 3-4 years ago? When the Eagles took on the Patriots in the Super Bowl? That's the last time a team has ever scored a touchdown against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Nick Foles. And where's Nick Foles now? Playing backup to Mitchell fucking Trubisky on the Chicago Bears. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. I knew within, the pit of my stomach that you were going to lose this game somehow, some way. But at least I wanted you to go out at least fighting. I wanted you to go out with a fighting attitude at least. Prove to everybody that even though you lost, you gave it your best. And you couldn't even do that for me. You couldn't even do that for your own fan base. You embarrassed the entire city of Kansas City. You're defending Super Bowl champions. You're the defending Super Bowl champions, and you go back into the Super Bowl in back-to-back years, and the year after winning the Super Bowl, you put on that performance. Absolutely fucking pathetic. That was one of the worst performances I have ever seen by a team in the history of the Super Bowl. Ever. Some may argue it's the worst. You got Patrick Mahomes out there, offensive line can't block shit. They're not doing shit. This dude's running around like he's fucking Usain Bolt on the freaking field. Sorry if I mispronounced his name. You got this guy out there running around like a freaking ballerina dancer out there. Can't get open. Can't throw passes. Receivers ain't catching shit. Throwing the ball away. Throwing it in spots that just made me say, why the hell are you... Where are you throwing the ball at? I'm not even a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm a Chicago Bears fan. And yes, I know, insert Chicago Bear jokes. Bite me. I don't care. I know at least with my Bears, I know my team's going to suck. They've sucked ever since winning the Super Bowl back in 1985. And yes, I saw my team in the Super Bowl back in 2007. But, to be fair, even though my team lost, at least we got some damn points on the board. At least we actually got some touchdowns in the game. And the Kansas City Chiefs, a year after winning the Super Bowl, couldn't even do that against a 43-year-old Tom Brady. I don't ever want to hear the discussion ever again about Patrick Mahomes being the new GOAT. If you can't beat Tom Brady when he's 41 years old in the AFC Championship game, if you can't beat Tom Brady when he's 43 years old in the Super Bowl, and I know people are going to say, oh, well, he beat him in Week 12. Does that officially count? Did that really mean something? Congratulations, you beat him in Week 12. Whoopee freaking do. You can't beat him in the playoffs. You're 0 for 2. You lost in the AFC Championship game, and you lost in the Super Bowl. If you can't beat a 41 or 43-year-old Tom Brady, what the hell makes you people think that Patrick Mahomes could beat Tom Brady 10, 15 years ago? When Brady was young, when he was in his prime. I would love to see, even though they lost the Super Bowl to the Giants, I would love to see Patrick Mahomes back in the day going against the New England Patriots of 2007 and 2008. You know, the undefeated New England Patriots that went 18-1, and the only game they lost was the Super Bowl to the Giants. I'd love to see Patrick Mahomes face that freaking team. He would have got his ass whooped. To all you Kansas City Chiefs fans out there, do me a favor from now on. Stop talking about you're the next dynasty in the making. Stop making Patrick Mahomes as if he's the next god or the next, Tom Brady of the NFL. He's not the next Tom Brady when he can't even beat Tom Brady. If he can't beat Tom Brady, if he's 0 for 2 against Tom Brady in the playoffs, he's not better than Tom Brady, nor will he ever will be. He can come back next year and lead the Chiefs to a perfect 19-0 season. It won't mean nothing to me. It won't mean nothing to a lot of people. Unless he beats Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. If they go back to the Super Bowl next year, if we get a repeat of this year's Super Bowl, where it's the Chiefs and the Bucks next year, Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles. Unless Patrick Mahomes actually beats Tom Brady this time next year, he ain't the GOAT. He's not better than Brady, and he never will be. And I fucking hate Tom Brady. I fucking despise Tom Brady for the hell that he has put the NFL through for over 20 years, through Spygate, Deflategate, all the controversies, all the scandals, everything. But now, I have to give credit where credit's due. He didn't have Bill Belichick this time. You can't say he can't win without Bill. You can't say it now. He did it. He did something a lot of people thought that he wouldn't be able to do. He won a Super Bowl without the need of Bill. Every time we think Brady's body's wearing down, he always somehow, some way finds a way to prove us all wrong. It's like the dude is freaking Superman or something. Like, no matter how old this dude gets, no matter how old he gets, he's always going to find a way to prevail. The dude said that he wants to play until he's 45. If he's playing like this at the age of 43, I can see him probably going to the age of 50. I can see him hitting 50 and still making Super Bowls and winning them. The only good thing that really came out of the Super Bowl last night for me were some of the commercials were great. There was a lot of bad commercials, but some of them were great, especially the Jeep commercial. I thought that was the best commercial of the night. The most inspirational one, and like I said, the best one of the night. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. Go check out the Jeep Super Bowl commercial from this year. Amazing, amazing commercial. You had a halftime show that I wasn't really going to watch, but my family came down, my sister and nephews came down, and I was basically forced to watch it. And it actually surprised me. It was actually a pretty good halftime show. Was it the best one I've ever seen? No. But it exceeded my expectations. It actually surprised me. So I'll give credit where credit's due to the weekend. That was an alright Super Bowl halftime show. Not the best one I've ever seen, but it was pretty darn good. And there was also a fan who ran out on the field wearing a bra. I'm not making that up. There was a dude who ran out on the field wearing a pink bra. Just a bra. Nothing else. And you know what? That might have been the only exciting thing about this Super Bowl. Seeing a 500-pound man run out onto the field. Well, they didn't really show it, but you could find the clips online on YouTube. It's all over the place. Seeing a 500-pound man run out on the field with just a bra on might have been the only entertaining thing about this Super Bowl. And that, to me, is absolutely pathetic. This is one of the worst Super Bowls I have ever watched in my entire life. It's not the worst. That would be, of course, the Rams and Patriots. But this is up there. This is up there. I was expecting more, man. I was expecting this to be one of the greatest Super Bowls of... Well, not the greatest, but one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. One of the highest scoring, if not the highest scoring Super Bowl ever. And instead we get that. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. I just want to move on. I don't even want to think about the Super Bowl anymore. What a complete fucking waste of time. I wasted 4.5, 5 hours of my life watching that shit. Barely anything came out of that Super Bowl that was memorable or, worthwhile. just an absolute... I wouldn't call it a snooze fest like the Patriots and Rams. This was not a snooze fest. This was a national embarrassment. This was a... fuck national embarrassment. Global embarrassment. On a grand scale. To the Kansas City Chiefs, if y'all make it to the playoffs next year, unless you play Tom Brady again in the Super Bowl and beat him this time, you don't mean shit. You could make it to the Super Bowl and it couldn't be, and it could not be against Brady, and you could win the Super Bowl and it still won't matter to me. Because I'm so sick and tired of people saying that Patrick Mahomes is the next big thing when he can't even beat a 43-year-old Tom Brady. If he can't beat Tom Brady at 43, what the hell makes you think he could beat Tom Brady when he was in his prime? What makes you think he could beat Brady 10, 15 years ago? Unbelievable. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I don't care if I piss off some Kansas City Chiefs fan. I don't really care. The truth needs to be said. I don't want to hear this talk of you being a dynasty. I don't want to hear this talk anymore of Patrick Mahomes being the savior of the NFL, being the next big thing. I don't want to hear it anymore. Until you beat Tom Brady in the playoffs, you don't mean shit. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.